Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this evening's production of Pulp Cthulhu Project Athena. We are here, you're here. It's 1933. Strange things are afoot, ladies and gentlemen, Olympians of all ages. So let's get into it. We have a lot of things to get to, and I want to get into them right now. But first, we're going to talk to Allison. Allison, go.
Hey, everybody, it's Allison. I play Caitlin Jane O'Callahan, aviatrix extraordinaire, princess of the skies, America's flying sweetheart. 2 episodes ago, Kate blew up a bookstore, and now we're in the biggest frickin' library in the world. I wonder what's going to happen. We'll see. Good to see ya.
And hey, bookstore to bookstore. Lauren, go.
Hi, I'm Lauren. Today's a great day. I play Miss Sabella Maria Ives of Ives, esoteric and antiquarian bookstore in the beautiful Lower East Side of Manhattan. She is psychic. She is perky. She just had a really good night. And I just hope it continues in that trajectory instead of another trajectory that I don't want to think about. Yay!
To the moon. Straight up. We'll see. Stephen, Dwight, he ended the last session by saying, "What the fuck? How are you doing tonight?"
Hey. That's what's happening. This show. I play DB. He's a drinker. He's a smoker. He's probably a midnight toker. And thanks to the season of Grant, I guess, and his goddamn Nazi parade, I guess we're all lovers on the run. So that's what's happening.
Hey, well said, my friend. Strider, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing well and fantastic. I'm playing Elijah Sawyer, the man who has an agenda completely on his own and that doesn't always line up with that of the parties. So I'm interested to see how this is going to work out this session. But hyped as ever. Nazis raining down on us, libraries to be blown up. Let's get into it.
This is sounding better and better to my ears. I'm with you. I was out for a bit. Now I think I'm coming back around. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. Lindy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'm having a good day. Super excited for some Pulp Cthulhu tonight. I've been waiting all week, 7 whole days to get to play again. I'll be playing Greta von Klaus, the German scientist and a doctor of the group. Kind of excited about the German influence that's coming in, because maybe that means there'll be some decent food, but at the same time she's like, well, I did defect from Germany, so it should probably be better to stay low on the radar and stuff, but good food, no more cheeseburgers, imminent doom and danger. It's fine.
Well, that's good. I mean, it all is a waiting game. The scales are out. And here for our Olympians in 1933, it's all about the choices they make over the next 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Because, as I have stated in several previous episodes of Season 2, this is a course dictated solely by the Olympians. Will they be crossing over into Hades in the underworld? Who knows? Will they be succeeding in getting to the tops of Mount Olympus? Who knows? Somewhere in the middle? Probably. But let's see what happened last time on Project Athena. In a nutshell, after the aftermath of the battle at the Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, we had a lot of fun things happen. We had people go and find out that their planes had been stolen. We then found out that they came home and talked to people on the phone and realized those planes weren't stolen as much as moved. Then we had people come back from mafioso dinners where they had experienced great trips of the imagination and a dreamscape, if you will. And they arrived back at Syl Jefferson's apartment on 116th Street and realized that whatever dreams they had and whatever delusions of grandeur were placed into their minds were all constructs, things that had to be built and manipulated. There were also zeppelins flying in the air. There was a sniper who was healed, who also exclaimed, "What the fuck?" But I think perhaps the greatest thing that happened last week was a simple maneuver, something that we've all done probably since middle school, when we each took to the sides of the cafeteria / gymnasium / activity room, and we looked across and we said, that person there, I think that person is the one that I will dance with. And we did, in fact, have a dance of that type of magnitude and grandeur as it appeared last week between one Sabella Ives and one Phil Castillo. And so, as we bring ourselves back into current time, 1933, we have a couple Olympians in a couple different places. Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, but currently Greta and Elijah are in Syl Jefferson's apartment on 116th Street. We have Dwight Burke, who is on the roof of 116th Street, viewing two rather shiny, some might say lens-like metallic reflecting zeppelins in the air, but when they turn a specific way, they just reflect perfectly and symmetrically, like glasses, perhaps. And then we also have at the New York Public Library one Sabella Ives and one fallen Princess of the Skies, Caitlin O'Callaghan. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start, if we would, at 116th Street with the aforementioned Dwight Burke sitting on the top of the roof, staring at these two Zeppelins, saying to himself and himself alone, "What the fuck?" as the rest of us watch on to see what exactly the sniper intends to do.
How far away are they?
Well, as Zeppelins would fly, you would think they'd be higher than what they are, but given that they're flying over Upper Manhattan, they're closer than they should be in that you can make out just about every aspect of them. They are not flying at the height that you saw the Graf Zeppelin fly at before, that you saw the USS Akron fly at before. They almost seem to be patrolling.
Okay, and they're not. They look like they're forming something, or are they just completely separate and they're coming maybe taps towards us uptown?
There appear to be three others. They all look like lions, and they seem to be joining together to form some type of large robot. No, they're just.
Got it.
They're.
That was good. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Only it's Ach Voltron.
Yes.
Can we play this game, please?
Yeah. Right. Pidge. Okay. Sven all the way.
Sven. I like Sven
for those of you from the 80s.
Yes.
Sven. Okay. So no, they're flying in formation in so much as they seem to be following the same path, albeit spread apart a bit by an expanse of 2 or 3 blocks in between them, but they seem to be traveling in the same direction in a specific pattern that the military mind of Dwight would probably be able to figure out here.
Do I roll?
Nah, I'm giving it to you. I feel benevolent.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate that.
No problem.
Yeah, I'll just thank you when you help me.
That would probably be the nicer thing for you to do, but
consider. Okay, so I'm gonna. Dwight is definitely going to. He's going to survey. He's going to look down to survey. If does he see any I mean, he's already been looking, so I'm assuming that he hasn't seen German vehicles, troops, anything out of the ordinary below him.
You can roll a spot hidden for me here, as my benevolence only goes so far.
Got it.
Don't see a thing.
Oh, my goodness. Nope. Well, I'm going to head downstairs.
There's not a fleet of Volkswagens pulling up or anything.
Does anyone have the blue book on a 33 sniper, or is defective?
It must be, because I'll take that fail, though. I'll run downstairs. I'm going to inform the 2 sleeping Olympians of what is going on, if they're sleeping, in fact.
I don't think either of us are sleeping.
Okay,
We're
so
just watching each other low key.
Yeah, it's a spaghetti western down in the apartment of Syl Jefferson. But as Dwight quits the roof and heads down, let's take a simultaneous action inside the apartment and see exactly what exactly what Greta and Elijah are doing.
When Greta was leaving the room that is holding what's his face right now, Jack, she was observing Elijah Sawyer to see if he was truly asleep. And when walking by and able to look between the space between his mirrored glasses lenses and his actual face. His eyes are wide open, and he watches her walk by.
Yeah, Greta would notice that he's not asleep because she's just that good. Um, and I don't think she'd feel comfortable sleeping with him pretending to sleep. So she's gonna just find a nice chair to sit down in, kind of pull out like a journal.
10, 15 seconds after you sat down, Elijah would probably get up and try to make his way over to the bedroom she just came from, the one that has Jack in it right now.
Okay, the first thing I would like is that you all have been out all night. You have been through some strenuous shit in the dreamscape that was provided by the Vatican. Greta, you're sitting down at this point, just staying alert. Roll a Constitution check for me, please, to see if
Me?
you can indeed do that.
Okay. Yeah, I do.
You as heavy eyelids with an 80 out of 80 begin to pull at the regimented patterns of Dr. Greta von Krause. She is able to keep herself awake and alert enough to watch for any approach of Elijah Sawyer as he stands up and heads to the room with Jack. You open it up and Jack is laying there catatonic, staring at whatever it is he sees in that middle distance above him.
Elijah will enter the room and shut the door. Is there anyone else in there?
Is there... Not that you can see.
Elijah's going to shut the door behind him. Is there a lock on the door?
Roll a luck roll. If you succeed, there is a lock.
There is a padlock, a chain lock, all kinds.
This is the apartment of a single woman. There is a slide deadbolt in the door.
He locks the door behind him and walks up, and this is the first time he's seen Jack since he got back from Purple Land. Can he spy anything on Jack that no one else has seen, or just... He wants to see what he can see. This is his first time seeing him.
Sure. Spot hidden for me, please.
I somehow succeeded.
I mean, he looks much like the Jack that you remember. He is thinner. He does look a bit older in that he doesn't appear as kept as he was before. He has stubble growing in. With the appearance of the stubble, there's more gray in the beard than you might have suspected before. Everything just seems weathered. The eyes seem sunken a bit and dark. He seems just weary.
Elijah's standing over him, glaring down. He has regained his composure from that wild night and is able to not display every emotion on his face, but he's wringing his hands and cracking his knuckles. And he'll speak quietly to himself. Who told you? How did you know? How did you find out?
There is no response.
Elijah's going to stay in there for a few minutes, contemplating the weight of any decisions he's going to make. Elijah wants to hurt him, but he's also smart enough to know he might be getting his information somewhere. And he doesn't like some of the things Jack threatened him with, so...
Okay.
If some sniper's going to burst in, he can. It's going to take Elijah a moment of deliberation.
Okay, so as you are standing there in the room alone with Jack, Greta, you are fighting to stay awake. You have succeeded.
Do I hear the lock on the door activate?
Roll a listen check for me, and I'll let you know.
Sure.
At this point, too, Dwight does enter the apartment of Syl Jefferson. Nah, you didn't hear it.
Nah, too tired.
Sawyer, Greta. I say it out loud so everybody hears.
Yeah, Dwight.
Syl is still there too, and
You got
Einstein.
And Einstein and
Syl,
Ruby.
Syl,
Yeah, where are
Einstein,
they
and
at?
Ruby. They're all in the living in the kitchen area. It's a very small apartment.
Right.
It's got a living room, a kitchen, the bedroom, and the bathroom. That's it.
Dwight says there is literally German zeppelins flying around the city. What is going on? And he's kind of pointed toward Einstein and Syl because obviously, you know,
Yeah.
Sawyer and Greta would not know.
Can I
Einst-
walk over to the window and look up?
And as you look up, you catch like the tail end of one of the zeppelins as it slowly passes over. The prominently displayed swastika on the field of red on the back fin as it crosses over. And Einstein steps forward, and he doesn't try to shush you or anything like that, but he does kind of raise his hands in a calming motion as he says, "Oh, my boy, no, they have been here for 2 months now. They are here to stay."
How are they here to stay? What has happened since the 2 months since we've been gone? What is the scenario here?
Many things. The United Skies Initiative by the Vice President Curtis. They have been given free reign over America.
You're kidding me.
I wish I was.
How many troops?
No military presence, just the Zeppelins.
And where do the zeppelins go? Where do
All
they come
over.
from?
Supposedly they are to travel the east coast of the United States, but they have been here in New York for months.
Oh, that's nice. Anything else that's happened in 6 months that we should know about, Doctor?
You should really check out the papers. And at that point, we will cut over to the New York Public Library, where our own Cato Callahan and Sabella Ives are currently doing just that and acquiring some research. And before we go to Sabella, who had an interesting guest arrive at the end of last episode, let's first go to Kate. Kate, you are in a separate section of the New York Public Library, and what are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for just that, for information on exactly what's happened over the period of time that we've been gone. So I want to gather as much information as I can, looking specifically at this United Skies Initiative, anything about Nazi aid or Nazi presence. I'm also very aware that I was declared dead at some point in the recent past. And so I'm keeping an eye open for my obituary, which would presumably be fairly prominent.
Yes. What would you like to look up first? Your obituary is going to be more condensed in that it is one item. The broad scope of German-American relations since you all disappeared several months ago is a larger scope and will require a library use roll to see just how much you uncover in the period of time that I'm going to give you. So which would you like to do first?
I'm going to do the sort of the what's happened since we've been gone roll first. So I'll give you a library use, and I'm going to use one of my advantages for that, I think.
Okay, go right ahead.
So there's a success, a regular success.
Since you used doubled up. All right, so here's what you are able to find out. And for the viewing public, I will have a few pictures pop up here as we get into this. Over and over again, you see mention of a group that is called the German American Bund Party. And it appears to be a Nazi sympathetic, sort of a homegrown, grassroots Germanic traditions, Nazis are the best type of movement that has begun in the last several months in America. Now, in the timeline of the actual history of the United States, this group did in fact exist. In the timeline of our Olympians, they exist and they are doing quite well. Currently, just as of a week or two ago, they were in Madison Square Garden. I flashed a picture up there for everyone to see, in which they sold out MSG. Had over 20,000 people show up inside the garden and outside as their leader, Fritz Kuhn, began to spout, as you would guess, anti-Semitic references, and most of the other despicable doctrine that the Nazis would preach to the roars of Americans, to the roars of the crowd, and not just German Americans, but also those that have been swayed and think that perhaps this German American Bund Party speaks directly to them. And it is inside these lower middle class folks that have come to adopt this German American Bund Party that they are gaining a foothold in the quote unquote Americana of the age. And it is because of this also, as Kate, you are poring over newspaper clippings predominantly, you see that FDR, his approval rating from his inauguration several months ago is declining rapidly as he has come out to denounce this German American Bund Party, much to the dismay of a growing percentage of Americans. You also see, as you are looking through there, that at the same event in Madison Square Garden, the suffragist and activist writer Dorothy Thompson, who I think I also have a picture of, she was thrown out of the event for heckling Fritz Kuhn, spouting off essentially, and this is an actual quote, Dorothy said that she found him to be an inconsequent and voluble, ill-poised and insecure. He is the very prototype of a little man. And as she was being drug out by, as the paper describes it, aides of Fritz Kuhn, but are very much stormtroopers, as they were dragging this woman out, one of the people that were there in support of Fritz Kuhn slapped her on her way out, just as she was delivering the message about Hitler being a little man. And she stared at the assaulter, smiled, and said, "And it looks as if Hitler has a twin." I added that, ladies and gentlemen, because that is exactly what happened at that event. And Dorothy Thompson is a badass. So, as that goes, then you see more and more of this. You also see a concerted effort by the National German Party, or the Nazis over in Germany, offering foreign aid to American citizens in the form of food, bivouac shelters, and aid in the Midwest that is currently under assault by the Dust Bowl. You see Nazi soldiers with the swastika armbands handing out crates of food and blankets. It is propaganda at its highest form. And as you all are watching all of these things, you keep coming across FDR is denouncing the German American Bund Party, but you also see here, localized in New York, there appears to be an outspoken alderman by the name of Pete Abraham, and he consistently gives a denouncement of these Nazi proliferation within his state. He says, and I quote, "My friends, the German American Bund Party is nothing more than a gaggle of thugs and ruffians, and like geese, they will be loud, annoying, and make it difficult to sleep when they are nearby. But as the winds change, they will depart in good fashion." And I have a picture of Pete as he continues to pop up. And you see more and more of this because these are local papers that you're looking through predominantly. You see the rise of this incredibly sophisticated German propaganda machine. And you see Pete Abraham and FDR and several other politicians that are standing up to this affront. But what catches your eye as you are looking through these is one might call it a stock photo that was taken during the campaign of FDR when he stopped in New York. It is a picture of three people: FDR, the aforementioned Alderman Pete Abraham, and one Jack Kilgrave, as they are standing arm in arm before what appears to be adoring supporters. In addition to all of that, you are able to make out that, make sure I have everything here that you will need.
Take your time.
I will. Yeah, that's about it. The majority of the papers that you read have shown, too, that since maybe March or April, as this German-American Bund Party is continuing to surface and strengthen, that the support for the anti-Nazis that are kind of staging protests during these rallies has been dwindling. And now they are being labeled as mere children that are the only ones that are continuing this support as secondary schools without any type of mature leadership. And you can tell just from this cursory skimming of the news events, you can see how this is going. It is a propaganda machine that is being waged by two very different opponents, one of which is savvy, the other passionate. And when that comes head to head, the one with the wealth will win. And it is not the passionate in this case.
Well, ain't that interesting? All right, I think I got what I came for here. Let's see if I can dig up that obituary.
Okay, so as you look up your obituary, it's not so much an obit that you find, though you do find your obit, but you do find several other periphery comments because Kate O'Callahan is a famous aviatrix, and you see headlines that read to the point of "Heartbroken, America mourns the death of its sweetheart." You see pledges from Amelia Earhart, who says that she will, in fact, circle the globe and dedicate the circumnavigation to Kate O'Callahan. You see an interview that was taken by Charles Wally Wallace, who you spoke to in last episode. He came to your empty coffin funeral, and when he was leaving, he stopped at the gaggle of press that were kind of cordoned off in one of the areas, and he gave them only one quote, and he said, "Caitlin O'Callahan was my friend, but more so than that, she was a light on the hill for so many of our young people. If I could be so bold as to speak for Kate, I know she would say to those youths, your dreams are up there waiting for you. Never stop climbing." And so as you read these things and see these things, you realize too that they begin to link up with stories about Jack Parsons. And Jack Parsons absent from board meeting. Jack Parsons' company adrift. Where is Jack Parsons? Because he has skipped many of the aeronautics expos that have been nationwide that he's been scheduled to attend. And finally, you see an actual sighting of him that he appeared to have come out in public at the California Aeronautics Expo. And he apparently had a confrontation with one Wiley Post. And the title of this one says, Jack Parsons refuses to admit loss of sweetheart. And it goes on to say that Wiley Post saw Parsons at the Aeronautics Institute and apparently approached him to express his condolences for the loss of Caitlin O'Callahan. Observers that witnessed the exchange said that Parsons said, and I quote, Listen up and listen well, you heartless son of a bitch. I don't give a good goddamn if they're saying she died in a volcano or against 1,000 soldiers. It's all so much bullshit. Caitlin Jane O'Callahan is alive. Do you hear me, you witless prick? She's alive, and you'll always be chasing her, Post. You aren't getting off that easy. Allegedly, at that moment, Mr. Post took a swing at Jack Parsons, but as the ambulance report will tell you, and as this reporter was able to discover, the ambulance only carried one passenger, and that was Mr. Wiley Post. As Mr. Parsons was leaving the expo, he was asked a question and was given perhaps the strangest answer that this reporter has ever heard. He was asked how could he be certain that Caitlin Jane O'Callahan was still alive? And his response was, do you see that sky outside? Do you? It hasn't fallen yet, which means Kate O'Callahan is alive. You cannot have one without the other. Now get the hell out of my way. I have a plane to catch. Shortly afterward, and verified by a flight plan obtained by this reporter, Jack Parsons left American airspace the following day, headed west. No destination was noted, and he has not returned.
Well, isn't that interesting? I suppose that I'm going to make my way back to where I left Sabella. I'm also looking for a phone. If I can find a phone inside or a pay phone that I might have seen outside, I probably have a call I want to make.
Roll a spot hidden check for me.
Yes, sir.
You do not see anything on your way through the library. It's very possible there might be something towards the front. That would take you kind of in the opposite direction of Sabella, though.
All right, I'll find it on the way out. I want to keep heading toward where I left Sabella.
Towards Sabella. Okay. So let's cut over to Sabella. Sabella, you were currently looking up information on the tug Pegasus, I believe, correct?
Uh-huh. I got this big old book right here.
Okay, and as you pulled out the binder, you were greeted by none other than the smiling face of one Phil Castillo, who expressed his surprise at having run into you here at the New York Public Library. And with that admission of surprise, what would you like to say to Phil?
I think the last thing I said was, I caught you. What? I thought you weren't a big reader.
I'm not a big reader, but I thought, I've been exposed to a lot of it recently, and it's maybe I got the bug. Maybe I got a bit of the reading bug, right? Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna bullshit you. I knew you were here.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
All cards on the table. That's the way we are, right?
Trying.
I have a bit of a problem.
A personal problem?
You could say it's a personal problem. I'm afraid it's gonna bleed over a bit into like my problem. And this isn't a threat. This is just like an observation. My problem is probably going to become your problem.
Did someone follow you here?
No, nobody follows me. Oh, please.
Okay.
But, with that being said, with that nugget of information kind of, stowed away, yeah, your buddy Daryl, Elijah, whatever the hell you call him,
Mr. Lacked.
Yeah, he's throwing some shit around. And lo and behold, the son of a bitch made some of it stick. Okay? And
you don't say.
Yeah, there's nothing I like less than sticky shit. And boom. This morning, I had a nice night dancing. Come home, sticky shit everywhere. And I mean fucking everywhere. Like in every little grain and tread in my fucking shoes. I mean, in my hair, just goddamn everywhere, sticky shit. Imagine that, Sibel.
Unhygienic.
It's
Does
not.
sound-
It's terrible. It's unbecoming. It's you can't go about your normal
Maybe
day.
you should take a shower then.
Right, and that is why I am here. Because there isn't any water in the whole goddamn planet, Sabella, that is going to get me clean as much as a shower from Miss Ives. And let me explain.
Yeah, why don't you? You got to get better at the whole words thing, Mr. Castillo.
I don't talk a lot. Usually
I
it's like a
know.
lot of screaming, a lot of pleading, and a lot of me going, "Oh, fuck you." But that's not necessarily what we're going to do right here, because I need you to help me. And okay.
Mm-hmm.
No one believes me, and I can't make them believe me. All right? I can't, grab somebody and throw them off a building and then go to the next guy, "Do you believe me?" And they shake their head yes.
No.
That ship has sailed. So now what I need is I'm gonna need your help to prove to everyone that what I'm saying is the truth. And I come offering gifts. And at this moment, every light in the New York Public Library turns off. And only the natural light from the windows are coming in. And Phil stops what he's saying and goes, "Oh, fuck.
So you don't get followed?
I didn't get followed." And he stops for a moment as if he's almost smelling the air. "No. These are your friends." And let's cut back to 116th Street in Harlem as everybody has reconvened in the apartment of Syl Jefferson. What going on?
And is Sawyer still in the room with Jack?
He is.
Yeah, I mean, where's Sawyer?
He is in the room with Herr Chuck.
He's in with Jack? And
Yeah.
he kind of, Dwight thinks nothing of it. And he kind of bangs on the door. "Sawyer, come out here, man."
A few moments later, Sawyer will come out from the door and rejoin the rest of the people in the room.
Dwight's like, "What were you doing in there?" I mean, he obviously heard the lock unlock, right?
Yeah, probably.
What were you doing in there?
What's all this yelling about, soldier boy?
Dwight kind of looks past him and looks into the room. We have Zeppelins. German Zeppelins are flying all over the city, and apparently, here from Einstein, they've been here for a while.
And
So
that's some kind of problem?
Well, Nazis have come to New York. I'd say that's probably a problem.
Why's that?
Well, they are our enemies, Mr. Sawyer.
Oh, blonde boy, Dietrich. You think he's here?
Well, I know he's here, but now there's more.
I suppose I'd have a few choice words for the man.
Well, they have not made an attempt on the city in the 2 months that they have already been circling here. We should probably just lay low.
Like you said, as a military experience, Mr. Keeper, does it look like they are looking for something, like you said?
Make an idea roll for me.
Find idea.
Intelligence.
It's an intelligence.
Just a straight.
Gotcha. You guys told me that last time. Well, he's not the smartest person, but he makes a hard success.
He's military smart.
Yep.
Yep. And Isreaver just donated. Isreaver, what was that for, buddy? Put it in chat. My background of New York is no bueno for reading the white lettering.
You really should make the lettering a different color.
I know. If I do, I can't read it for the other stuff, though. Here, I'll open this up real quick. Yeah, it definitely looks like they are looking for something. If you would if you would liken it to something that you have done before, it definitely looks like a sweep and clear type of thing, you know, where
Right.
they're working grids.
But they're looking for something, and what I don't know. But
So
I think
this makes the church people, the FBI or whatever, the U.S. government, and the German government. We are popular.
I will
and
let you
well,
all
it's not
know
gonna
that.
take-
I will let you all
Go
know
ahead.
that. Just I don't want to interrupt, but Is Reaver donated $5 for a boon to the player of my choice. Huh?
Boon, baby.
Be nice to me.
I'll just forget that. But I'll forget the boon. They're looking for something. Obviously, the way their patterns are. Dwight kind of turns to Einstein. Einstein, who do you know who is in those? Who is going around in those zeppelins? Is it just pilots? Are they taking rides? What is it?
If the papers are to be understood, they are just the flight crews, the German flight crews.
And what is their reasoning for flying around the city?
I don't know.
The important tidbit there is if the papers are to be believed. And I don't think we can trust anything anybody's saying. I've
Well,
never been a big fan of the news.
I trust my eyes, and there's 3 zeppelins flying around the city, and they're looking for something.
Yeah, all media is propaganda. Third, we do not know what they are looking for. It would be difficult to spy us in here. Now, when we are on the streets, perhaps we should, I don't know, wear a hat.
Well, maybe we should wait for Kate and Sabella to come back from the library, or we could go to Caduceus. That's our choices to figure out what's going on.
If I get a vote, I would go with the foolproof hat plan.
Dude, after some of the shit we've seen, like, someone probably has eagle eye powers to, like, zoom in on us, man. I wouldn't be that surprised.
What would you all like to do?
Buy hats. No,
Do you know how many clothes, how much clothes and how many hats Elijah has?
I believe they should be passed around.
Yeah, whatever kind of hat you want.
Oh, well, that is quite exciting then. So, first of all, hats for everyone. And then perhaps we should wait for Sibella and, Fraulein O'Callahan. I had a super moment. It's just like, no names.
No, I like to imagine that was in character.
Yeah. It's,
You are
yeah.
tired.
She
tired.
is
Yeah, maybe after your
True.
party, maybe you guys should get some rest, and I'll keep watch.
It was quite exciting. But not that exciting.
Yeah,
I will
at
be
some
fine.
point, Elijah and Greta are going to have to sleep, as the rest of the party has had
Right.
some measure of rest.
You know, Dwight keeps looking at Sawyer in the room with Jack, why he had the door locked and all that. It kind of, you know, he's kind of like keeps that's still in the back of his mind. What was going on?
Well, you could always roll a psychology roll if you'd like to get more insight into it, but that's of course contested with the persuasion powers of Elijah.
Well, I'd fail it anyway.
Yeah, you're not
He doesn't
real
ask
sure.
questions. He just kind of, yeah, I mean, it's just there.
It looks
He'll
like
let
his
it go.
pillow's been fluffed up a bit. He must have been taking care of him.
Yeah.
I like this stuff.
Dwight kind of just rubs it off. I guess it was nothing.
Okay,
Sawyer's
so-
in there praying to him. I don't know what he's doing.
Very
Okay, Elijah, Greta, what are you guys going to do? Try to catch some Z's or...
We should catch some Z.
I guess I'll legit pass out, man.
Yeah, Greta will probably sleep too, but I think she'll wait for Sawyer to sleep first.
Okay, so as everyone goes to sleep, even some of the NPCs like Ruby and Syl Jefferson and Einstein, they're all kind of hunkering down a bit as well as you can in this small apartment. And Dwight's keeping watch. You keeping watch in the room, Dwight?
I see a mouth moving, but no sound.
You are muted, my friend.
My bad. I will continue to look, and I will walk upstairs, and he'll go out and kind of keep keep looking over the down the street, up in the air, see what just he'll continue like kind of like a pattern almost till Kate and Sabella come back.
Okay, so you're like walking to the roof and then back down to the apartment and to the
Yeah,
roof.
he'll check and then maybe he'll like I said he'll every half an hour or so whatever it needs to be.
Okay, very very military of you. With that being said, and that would say that that happened shortly after Sabella and Kate left, so the travel time will also count as rest time for everybody in the apartment. As we cut back, Kate, you are back towards the direction that you believe Sabella should be going in when the lights in the New York Public Library go out.
I reach into my bag and find my serpent friend in there and slip it over my arm, keeping my arm in the bag so that it's not immediately visible.
Okay, and again, as you reach into your bag, it's not so much you grabbing the serpent gun as you meet in the middle as it grabs a hold of your arm and you and the serpent gun embrace.
That's right, girl. Hold on. Kind of looking around at the crowd. Any reaction to the lights going out?
What crowd?
Oh, oh. Is there no one else in the library?
You haven't run across anybody here in your. Now, what you did see some people when you were coming in, but after you started your research and you were working for a while, we'll say that you guys kind of had research for about an hour or so. You really haven't seen anybody.
I knew you were going to make me blow this library up. I knew you were going to do it. I knew it. I'm kind of picking up speed at this point as I notice that there's not a lot of people there, heading back toward Sabella.
Okay, so you're double timing it a bit.
Quickest route.
Yeah, you're okay. You're doing well. I mean, there's plenty of light to see by. It's not pitch black. Just the lights that had been on are no longer on. We'll cut back to Sabella and Phil. Sabella, we will say too that in your research, you were able to kind of pinpoint the information and what binder of the public records had the information on the tug Pegasus. And you did uncover the following information as you were kind of going through the various ships' registries. You found out that the tug Pegasus was built in 1907. It is also currently docked on the Lower East Side, just a few blocks from Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, Pier 36.
Cool.
And we will catch back up with Phil going, "Oh, no, these are friends of yours."
Which friends?
The Krauts.
Oh, not any, just generic Krauts. Great. I'm gonna move to the other side of the shelf, and I'm gonna move towards Phil. Alrighty.
Okay.
Well, maybe you help me right now, and then I can help you.
Listen, I would love to, and he looks around at the library. If I do fuck all in this place, with my trumpet playing, this place is going up like a goddamn candle.
So you don't really have much control over it, is what you're saying?
Well, that's a terrible thing to say. I mean,
is it?
Sabella, I get very fucking hot. I mean, I can't control that. Fire is fire. It has like a temperature to it.
All right, but you can't control the radius or anything, keep it buttoned in.
How in the fuck am I supposed to keep it buttoned? We're in a library. We're surrounded by books. What do you mean, shh?
You're in a light. Be quiet.
Oh, okay. I guess we should, yeah. But...
Okay, do you know where they're coming from?
No.
So you just smell kraut.
Yeah. There's a Wiener Schnitzel on its way. I just smelled it on the breath or something. I'm bullshitting you. I've got somebody outside that told me they're coming in.
Give me a straight answer, pretty please.
Yes. Yes, these are crowds that are in the building. We need to leave.
Yes,
or
I would like
if
to.
you
We
want
just
me
get-
to if you want me to like human candle it up, I'm gonna burn this fucking place to the ground.
No, don't do that. I would
Your
not
decision.
like that.
At this
We
point,
just-
Kate comes up and you see Phil Castillo gesticulating towards Sabella Ives.
Very innocently gesticulating.
Which direction is he facing? Does he see me coming?
Roll a luck roll.
I imagine they're like really close together, like whispering back and
Well,
forth.
we are. I said I moved toward him and we're whispering. Thank you, Lindy.
That's a hard success on the luck roll.
Yeah, you're coming up right behind him.
Blow his fucking brains out.
Don't you
Do it.
dare. Don't you dare.
Well, I just wonder if Sabella sees me coming.
Well, if now that's the bitch of the bunch with the luck roll. If you're coming up right behind him, you're coming up in pure sight or direct line of sight of Sabella, as they narratively said that they were face to face talking to one another, because she's saddled up next to him.
Oh, look.
Oh wait,
there's Lindy.
hold on 1 second. Grant, in his benevolent bad boy wisdom, is giving his subscriber crits out as follows: 1 for Greta, 1 for Kate, 1 for Sabella, 1 for Dwight. I'll get you next session, Strider. So just for 4 of the Olympians, none for
Thank you,
Elijah.
Grant. Thank you, Grant.
Thanks, Grant.
That's one less natural one I was going to give you next time.
Kate slows to a walk and slowly pulls the serpent gun out of the bag, and takes aim at the back of Castillo, and then says, she's maybe 15 feet away, and then she says, "Well, I was wondering when the two of us were going to meet."
Summer has also given sub crits to Allison and Strider. So.
Summer, I
Just-
know where my true legion lies. Thank you.
Just as you are getting ready to say this, Allison, as Kate is getting ready to say this, you see Phil go, "Oh shit!" Right when you say what you're gonna say, and he slowly raises his hands up, and he says, "Listen, this isn't very fair. I could do stuff, but I'm gonna burn down a landmark of the city and state and county of New York. If I, right, Sabella, are you gonna help me here? Or
Yes, I am. If you would stop talking for 5 seconds.
I can't. I'm the keeper."
Oh my goodness. No, he's fine. He's just was looking for a book. Kate, we need to go.
Well,
There are Germans. Be quiet. Don't shoot anything.
as soon as you say that there are Germans, Kate takes her attention off of Castillo and starts looking around the building, looking for where someone might be coming in. I'm on guard.
It is at this moment, Allison, that Kate realizes, whether it is her vast knowledge of trajectories and plotting courses and nav points and just basic geometry from her science background, that you are in the middle of one of the biggest libraries in the world. And with all of the channels and aisles and bookshelves and circular stations and desks and raised tiers and second levels and balconies, that there are no fewer than 24 points of entry that you can see from this very spot. And you realize right away that should an enemy enter into this area, they could come from any one of those 24 spots.
Would I know, just from knowing libraries, would I know any way to get like a service entrance to get out of here?
I tell you what, why don't you roll library use for me? And that would be, I mean, you've got a small library shop, but this is kind of a large scale type of stuff we're talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna use an advantage. Ooh, yay. So success, regular.
Right. You would know that in the New York Public Library, obviously there are the general public entrances, there are entrances for employees, but the biggest of the entrances would be in the back where they would bring in large collections of books. Because books in this time were all massive. They were all bound in leather or some type of hard cardstock, things that were, felt and cloth and all this. And they were packaged, especially with the New York Public Library carrying collections from all over the world. They were brought in through secure facilities in the back of the New York Public Library, usually through loading bays brought in by larger trucks. So you would have numerous points of exit should you choose to go that direction. You would probably, just by your general layout of where you are right now in the public sector or public record section, you'd probably be closer to that loading dock area, as this would be a more utilitarian place for the New York Public Library. More public servants, more city workers would use this area, and so it would be easier to kind of push it off to the side through the employee or the backdoor entrances should it need to be used in off hours. So you're closer to the back.
All right. I will whisper all of this to them. I think we should try going out the back way through the loading dock.
And I've come up close at this point to be able to hear. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is he come? Are you coming with us?
Yes.
I'm gonna leave. I mean, I'm gonna walk out of here. But I mean, the big plan here is the back door.
So far, we're
Okay.
better at improvising.
Okay. Just so you know, I'm gonna do everything I can not to burn this place down. But if it comes there's a choice to be made.
Right.
Books or me.
Sure.
This place is going up. Okay.
Just try
cards
to
on the
rein it
table.
in. Just try to rein it in, Phil, just a little.
I can't. But okay.
Oh, it's Phil. It's Phil now. Well,
Phil Castillo, Cato Callahan. You fly planes and shit, right?
yeah, that's right. I do.
He puts his hand out. I
Yeah.
mean, there's Nazis coming, but I mean, we can be civilized, can't we?
Kate holds up the serpent gun. Sorry, maybe later.
Right.
She's
Hey,
got
where'd you
a
get that?
itchy trigger finger.
Yeah,
That's
you could say that.
That's a fucking gun.
It sure is, sweetheart. All right, let's get out of here.
Come on.
Okay. So you guys are going to move towards the back.
Staying low, moving quiet.
Okay, so if that's the case, I would like all of you guys to roll stealth rolls for me as you are being quiet.
Somehow I knew you were going to
Roll credits. He said it.
Oh. I wonder if it'd be worth using a crit here.
Uh-huh.
You think?
Yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
All right.
yeah, both of us.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you kind of focus your chi a bit, Cato Callahan and Sabella Ives just pad off on silent feet towards the back, much to the surprise of Phil Castillo, who seems to be a avalanche of boulders trying to keep up with the couple of you as he kind of bumps things as he's going through there. Roll listen checks for me, please. Anybody that wants to.
If she ain't good at throwing, she's real good at listening.
Sabella.
As you guys are moving towards the back, just before you kind of enter in what looks like the employee area or the employees only past this point, just as you're getting ready to open a door, you hear kind of subtle, low-spoken German coming from behind the door. Do you speak German?
No, I speak Latin and French.
Neither of those two things are being
No.
spoken right now, but you
No,
can identify it as German.
Cool, great. I'm going to pull them back behind the nearest shelf.
Okay. As soon as you get behind that shelf, the door opens, and you see two black-clad individuals walk in, and both of them seem to be wearing identical suits. They would look very human were it not for the insectoid and bulbous eyes that are kind of looking around off the top third of their face, and it seems as if the jaws that which once had the human flesh on them are protruding on the sides and pierced with the ebony tips of mandibles as they pierce out from the jawline and kind of clatter and click a bit. I'd like you guys to roll me some sanity checks for seeing the
Success.
An oh shit check. How's that?
Yeah.
Fail.
Katie?
Big fail, too.
Oh, and with a 5, as a 5, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are for Cthulhu, Pulp Cthulhu, and all the Cthulhus, 5 is the magic number with sanity loss on one particular time, because then you are awarded what is called a temporary insanity. And a temporary insanity is a phobia. It could be a repetitive behavior. It could be some type of psychological anomaly that hits the player's brain in which they have to RP because seeing what they have just seen shatters a portion of their mind. And so with this 5-point sanity loss, as Kate sees these creatures walk out with their mandibles and their ant-like heads kind of wearing the remnants of flesh that's kind of tattered and torn like an old flag, she feels a part of her soul, psyche, mind, whatever you would equate it, splinter and shatter, and her temporary insanity is the following. She has to run. She has to get away from these things. And she doesn't care about being quiet about it.
I mean, have they cleared the door yet?
Yeah, they walked out and the door just slowly kind of closes behind them as the two of them are standing there. And Kate O'Callahan.
They're blocking the door, you said?
Yeah.
Damn it. Kate, you can hear her breath catch in her throat, and she tries to say something and can't. And you just see her take off as fast as she can go toward the front door of the library. The only other way that she knows out of the building.
Okay, so much like the fear spell in D&D, this is something that Kate can't RP out of. She just has to get away.
Yeah.
And Allison has Kate running as fast as she can towards the front doors of the New York Public Library. Lauren, Sabella sees the following. As Kate kind of leaves position and runs full speed towards the front, the two mandibles with the bulbous ebony eyes kind of spin and shift, and you see that there are just behind the eyes these very malformed, almost like fleshy sacs of antennae that are kind of sticking up, and as they move and twist towards the sound, they begin running, and as they run you hear a clatter on the ground and the tile of the library and the hardwood as They do not have the padded feet of flesh or sole-covered shoes. They have actual claws that are clicking on the ground as they run. And you see one of them, as it runs to keep momentum, goes up the sides of one of the larger stacks and is running sideways as it goes after the trajectory of Kate. And just as Sabella is doing anything, Phil Castillo puts his hand around her mouth and holds her tight. If you are going to do anything, you are going to need to break Phil's grasp.
Excuse me.
That would come out as because that.
What the fuck? Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna let Kate go alone. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna try to break it. I'm gonna try to just at first just like push him off and go after her.
That is going to require a strength roll.
Don't make me look. Is he behind me or next to me?
He's like right behind you. He smells slightly of pine. It's almost as if some of that gin from last night, it's still maybe coursing its way through his system. It's nice. It's pleasant,
Shut up. Can I turn my head to him?
He's pleasantly warm.
Great. Yeah. If I can turn my head to him. Having seen that stuff, going after Kate, and then being prevented from doing what I want to do, I would like, I guess, to make him get off me with my eyes.
With your eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we know how that works.
Yeah.
You look deeply into his baby blues.
Oh, great.
And now you must make an opposed power check as he is devastatingly handsome.
Just a regular.
So as you turn and look and try to engage Phil Castillo, for a moment, just the briefest of maybe it's that hint of pine, maybe it's the twirl of the dance from hours before, whatever it is, something catches, and you see that in Phil's eyes, as he realizes what you're trying to do but does not look away, you realize that there is, while 90% of the eyes tell a story of self-preservation, the other 10% say, I'm looking after you here a bit too.
I will glare and then try to bite him.
Okay.
He's got his hand over my mouth.
Roll an attack roll for me.
So good at these. What is that, fighting brawl?
Sure. Okay, so you bite into his hand and you see him start biting like his lower lip, and he's like, and you see him and he starts like, he takes his open hand and starts like smacking your thigh, like, stop it, you fucking stop it. And then he whispers to you, God damn it, Sabella.
Can I talk now?
He lets it go. About 20 seconds has passed at this point.
They're gonna catch her. We need to go after her.
Fuck it. Sabella, I mean, what are we gonna do? I'm gonna burn this place down.
Fire.
You want me to burn the place down?
If we have to, we gotta help her.
I tell you what, I'll burn this place to the fucking ground. I'll save Kate for you. But you gotta help me.
Deal. Go.
No. You gotta help me. And I trust you, Sabella, but you've got a lot of friends, and you got that fucker Lecht, who as soon as he starts talking to you, he could make a rock bleed. I don't want that shit. Him worming that silver tongue in your mind. And so he, as his hand is still close to your face, he drops it into your hands and grabs hold. And he says, promise and make me believe it.
I don't know what that means.
He wants you to do what you did to him last night, but the other way. He wants you to tell him the truth and let him see it in your mind.
Oh, fucking hell. Mother. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah. I grab him by the face and I kiss him. And let.
Okay, are you and you're doing the power thing and everything in that exchange?
Yeah,
I would hope so.
Okay. So as you lock lips with Phil Castillo, are you telling the truth?
Sabella is, yeah.
Okay. He realizes that the moment your lips touch his, but he falls deeper into the kiss, stands up, drops his hands down to the side of her arms, right around the elbow, lifts her up, still kissing her, as he spins her 180, sets her down by the door, and pulls back and says, "Get the fuck out of this building." And then he turns, and you see with each step the fire light up his arms, across his chest, across his back. And as he begins walking through the stacks, you see them all start smoking. Let's cut back to 116th Street. As we'll say at this point, there's been about an hour and a half of good rest, which, of course, and what we all know, is plenty for the Olympians. I will not climb aboard this ship. Sorry, that's great. Okay, so as you guys are all waking up, Dwight, my man, you hear a knock at the door, and it's very subtle as everybody else is asleep and you're the only one that's awake. You were just coming towards the door to go up to the roof. You are muted.
The upstairs, like the roof door, is knocking.
No, Dwight has said that he was going down into the apartment, waiting a bit, going back up to the roof, looking around, kind of doing a circuit every 20 minutes. He is currently in the apartment. You were getting ready to go back up to the roof.
That listen roll.
You were literally walking up towards the door when there was a slight rap on the door. No one else could have heard it. It was just within this pocket of 5 to 10 feet.
Where's Sil?
She would be asleep with Jack in the other room.
I kind of raise up and wake her up. Sil.
Yeah.
And I kind of, Sil, come here. Come answer somebody's at your door. Answer it.
Okay. Okay.
Dwight pulls out the grease gun. He's got the grease gun right. Answer your door. Don't open it. Just say hello.
Her eyes go wide as she darts from Dwight's eyes to the grease gun to Dwight's eyes to the grease gun.
You got to trust me. If something goes down, you get back. I'll deal with it. Just say hello.
Okay, Mr. Burke. Hopefully it's just Miss O'Callahan. And she goes up, and you see that she kind of props a veteran of opening her door. She props her foot behind it as she opens it up.
Don't open the door. I kind of say to her, don't open the door. Just say hello.
Okay. Hello? Hello?
And I kind of motion to her.
Can I help you? I need Dwight Burke.
And I kind of just keep rolling to her. And Dwight clicks the gun. And I just say, why? Kind of like, why?
Why do you need Dwight Burke? Have something for him.
Dwight kind of looks at her and kind of motions to her to go back to the room and hide.
She goes back, and she doesn't go back and hide, but she goes to the end table that's right beside what looks like her chair, her reading chair. We're going to say that currently Elijah might be asleep in that chair. She kind of slowly opens the drawer on that and pulls out a revolver.
Dwight kind of motions to her to, in soldier term, get behind something.
She gets behind Elijah.
And Dwight kind of says, he slowly opens the door. And he kind of holds the gun behind the door as into, if he could slip it around the door and just start firing in case he has to.
Right. He sees a well-dressed man standing there, clean shaven. He seems to have the beginnings of a very thin mustache along his upper lip. His head is shaved up to the crown in the style of the day, kind of longer on the top, and it's swept back. He's about 5'8", 5'9", carries himself with a very deliberate motion to him, as he seems to just be standing and waiting for this to happen. He's not excited by your presence or lack thereof or the interrogation that he had. He stands there and looks from your toes up to the top of your head. Dwight Burke.
Dwight puts the fucking grease gun right to his head. You better start talking very quickly, my friend, and why you want me.
Roll a spot hidden.
Success.
As you pull out the gun and have it pressed directly against his head, somehow you didn't see the fact that he has withdrawn 2 pistols from inside of his pockets and have them pointed directly at your belly. They just are in his hands now. And he says,
I guess we have a Mexican standoff here, my friend.
He takes the guns and puts them away. Force of habit.
Dwight doesn't. Why are you here?
You've got to be Burke. I need you to say that you're Dwight Burke.
I need you to say, why are you here?
I'm here to give Dwight Burke something.
What do you need to give D. Dwight Burke? I suggest you talk quickly, my friend.
The hands that had recently...
Can I use an intimidation on him?
This would require an extreme roll to...
Okay, I'll try. What do I need for extreme? Can't do it. Nope. Cloud's close.
Yeah, you lock eyes with him for a moment, and it looks like there's weakening in the muscles around the eyes, and he kind of, if anything, he looks irritated at the fact that this is happening. And the hands that had recently held the automatic pistols, he slowly brings one of them up, and he opens it, and you see one round that would fit your sniper rifle. But it's very different than any ordnance you've ever seen before, as it seems to carry scroll work and symbolism, and the casing itself is an odd violet color. And he unrolls this one round. Are you Dwight Burke?
Dwight pulls the gun away. I'm Dwight Burke. How did you find me, and what do you need?
Ask your buddy Elijah. I am here to deliver something to you because my employers felt that you were the one that could best aid Mr. Sawyer in his activities. I know him by a different name. We'll stick with Sawyer for you. And he raises...
Dwight kind of examines the bullet.
He doesn't have it yet. It's still in the hands of the man.
Well, yeah, he's kind of like looking at it as in his hand. That's what I mean.
Because of your extreme knowledge of all things firearm, it seems to be a perfectly manufactured and rifled piece of ordnance. It is
like something he's never seen before, basically.
It looks more like a collector's piece than something that you would load into a gun and fire it.
Yeah, in the back of Dwight's mind, he's like, wow, but he would not express that.
Yeah, it is a work of art.
Dwight says, "I'll take it."
Oh,
Because he
Go.
already knows what he's talking about. It's not like a surprise.
well, he's going to ask, do you know why?
Yes, I do know why.
Do you know who this will kill? And he kind of dangles it in front of you.
Oh, he's being cute with me.
No, he's not dangling it in front. He's kind of moving it back and forth. Like, do you know who this can kill?
Yes, I've shot at this person numerous times.
Say his name.
Dwight kind of locks eyes with him. Like, are we really doing this right now? Like,
Yeah, you are.
Castillo.
He flips the bullet to you.
And Dwight kind of like just snatches it out of the air. How did you find us?
Are you kidding? My employers know where everybody is. Nice to meet you, Mr. Burke.
Dwight just kind of and then closes the door.
Mr. Burke, John Dillinger. John Dillinger, Mr. Burke.
John Dillinger just sees Greta passed out on the couch in the background.
Yeah, he didn't get a chance because he stepped to the door, so he didn't see Elijah or anybody. So, okay, so as you now have one round, which we are going to call the round from this point forward, if at any point you choose to use the round, you're gonna have to let me know.
Lancaster.
Okay, so let us cut back to Kate O'Callahan.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, let's cut back to Kate O'Callahan as you are running towards the front of the New York Public Library. And as you are running towards the front, you realize about halfway there, as the fear lifts from you, that you are alone.
As the fear lifts from me mechanically, am
Yes.
I out of my temporary insanity? That was way less fun than I was led to believe that it would be, Strider. I feel a little bit deceived. Kate skids to a stop and turns around quickly, breathing hard, serpent gun up at the ready, looking for whatever those things were.
Okay, you know exactly where you came from. It wasn't like you were running in a cloud or a fog. You were everything was kind of pinpointed. You were very aware of your situation. Your just compulsion to run left you. And so as you skid to a stop, fully aware of which cases you came out of, when you turn around with the serpent gun, you see one of them coming around, the one that is running kind of on wall running along one of the cases, comes out, and you see it reach into its pocket and produce what looks like a long stick. As it moves the stick, you're a real wizard, Harry, as it points it towards you. And what would you like to do?
What's my distance here?
You're going to be about 30 feet away from it.
I'll crit that shot. Well, bam.
Okay, roll for damage for me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we ignored that because it is a crit, and with an 8 damage turns to 16. As soon as this thing comes out and reaches for this stick, it gets blasted through the bookcase that it was running on. And as we've stated before, the serpent gun makes no sound. So it is a mere whisper as it zips through, hits the creature. But the one thing that Kate would realize is every time she's shot this gun before, for the most part, it's gone through whatever it's hit. In this case, when it hit this creature, it acted more of a concussive force as it hit the creature and threw it back and through the bookcase, sending the entire case clattering down in a loud smash as this creature hits the ground. Just as you see that the second creature rounds the corner, and you are both going to fire at the same time because you still do have another shot left.
Mm-hmm.
So
Um,
if you decide to fire, you can dodge if you wish.
yeah, that's what I'm just wondering here. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna dodge, and I'm gonna crit the dodge roll too.
Okay. So, which is great because as it lowers the wand towards you, you see what looks like a helix of purple lightning come out of it as it spins and gets wider and wider. And this purple lightning hits a table behind you, and where there should be a rending or a splintering of wood or the crackling of fire or some other type of blast, there is what sounds like an inhalation, a as the piece of table that was hit is no longer there. It is just a completely scooped out section of this oak table. The oak table maintains its integrity as it didn't get all the way through the tabletop, but it is standing there a fraction of its former self as you dive into the humanities section. You roll down and you are currently out of view of it. How would you like to continue here?
Uh, I'd like to try to not come back out the way that I just went in, but try to come around and see if I can get a clean shot on it from the other side of the stack.
Okay, so as you are running and kind of spinning around, give me a listen check.
Alrighty. Fail on the listen.
Okay, there's just too many things going on as the your heart beats pounding in your ears as you hit the ground and kind of spin around looking for another angle. And as you spin around, the serpent gun popping back up, you do not see the enemy and you do not hear anything. Let's cut back to Sabella and see what she wants to do. Sabella, you have been told to stay where you are by Phil Castillo, who the lingering taste of pine and maybe like a Chardonnay or something that was perhaps an early morning treat lingers on your lips. But what is Sabella Ives going to do?
She is going to follow the direction that they went.
Okay, so you're going to follow the smoldering, burning stacks as you proceed into the heart.
Slower, more careful than the very first time she ever went on a mission with these guys. So yeah, I'm going to try. I want to try to figure out how things are going.
Why don't you roll a stealth check for me, please? If you're going to go slow, I mean, that you're trying to do it, right? You're trying to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to be sneaky. I'll use another crit.
Okay. So you drop and kind of parallel off of the burning footsteps of Phil Castillo, and you're able to, with the crit, maintain a very rapid movement while also staying completely quiet. You get up just in time to see Kate. You hear the crashing as one of the creatures splatters off into one of the bookcases. And by the time you get to a break in the shelves, you see Kate kind of pull up from one of the farther aisles. She's maybe 40, 45 feet away from you as she pulls up and looks around. And at this point, you see that atomized table that's sitting there. You also do not have a view of this creature. Let's cut back to 116th Street, please. And as you cut back to 116th Street, as Dwight turns around and is looking at this round, Dwight, roll a spot hidden for me, please. Dwight, as you turn around, you look, kind of see your friends as you're looking at, in the foreground shot, as you are looking with the light from the far window of Syl's apartment, as you look at this round and are examining it in the light, and almost like a Ron Howard shot, your eyes go from the bullet and widen out to a far sight as you look out and across the alley and up 3 levels on a
Dodge.
building opposite, you
I
see a shock of white hair as a sniper rifle belches out a blast, and I'd like you to roll that dodge roll for me. Which is good. So just as the window of Syl Jefferson shatters, Dwight Burke jumps behind and slides off one of the tables as what would you no one has heard anything with the breaking of glass. I would like listen checks from everyone that was asleep, Greta and Elijah.
Does that wake us up?
Can I say my grid is strapped to my back? Because I've been patrolling. Right?
So
Well,
tired.
17 on mine.
Nice. Yeah, Greta's just the crack, she's just groggy. It wakes her up, but she's not used to this type of wild nightlife that Elijah has lived and breathed in for many, many years. And we are going to say this as far as Dwight Burke's relation to his rifle. It is beside the front door, which he's pretty close to.
Oh, it's some bullshit. I have it. Yeah, I've been scanning and searching and all that.
Well,
all right.
You had to go
How
take
far
a
away?
piss.
How far
Right.
away? How far from the distance is it, sir?
You're thinking
Time,
that he's shooting from about anywhere from 40 to 50 yards out.
And what am I behind right now?
You're behind. Yeah,
say
we'll say, you're currently behind Elijah Sawyer. No. You're jockeying for position with Syl Jefferson. No, you are behind like the couch, for better. And Greta is groggily waking up in front of you.
Can I move the couch with me? Can I like kind of? Is there something I could grab hold of it, like
and flip it back?
Yep, flip it and kind of just hold it with me as I go, like almost like a shield toward my gun.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll a strength check for me.
Oof.
Okay, we'll say that you're able to flip it, but you had no idea. You kind of forgot in the haze that Greta was laying on the couch, and as you flip it, Greta rolls off, and she rolls off on top of you as you're holding like it's like you, Greta, and then the couch like
That was my intent to
rolls
say
up.
that.
Heads, vibes, this is about to fall. Do you not think?
Stay down. Can I low crawl toward my gun?
You can as soon as you get out of this predicament. I want to know what Elijah's doing. At this point, Einstein and Syl Jefferson are lying down. Ruby Foster's nowhere to be seen.
Ah, son of a bitch. You knew I was going to ask, didn't you?
I did.
Taking a quick scan around the apartment, telling Syl and Einstein to get back and get away from the windows. Perhaps even go lie down in the bathtub. And yeah, he's going to make sure he's not in view of any windows. Is it just one on the wall? Is it this whole wall? Like how many are there?
Dwight would be screaming, "Get the fuck down now!"
Are there good hiding covery spots?
Yeah,
Stop
as you're
rolling
looking
shit.
as you're looking around, a shot rings out and you see Einstein spin and go to the ground as a spray of blood hits the wall of Syl Jefferson's apartment, and Einstein lays very still against the
Theory of
ground.
relativity, Cheech. Theory of relativity.
Well, I mean, this is
different.
This is relatively fucked up.
Einstein equals sniper rifle squared. So
After that shot, now can I get to my gun? He's already taken blast at somebody, stupidly.
yeah, I'd like you to roll a luck roll to see if you can grab it. And
Oh Jesus! Why? I'm gonna crit this to get to my gun because my luck is horrible. So I'm gonna crit it, and I will fire once I get to my gun.
okay, so
Like a no look pass in basketball. I'm gonna grab it and shoot.
you're just going to grab and fire towards the window just to kind of give some type of herring fire. That's your.
Well,
you're not
geez, we've called me the best sniper in the world. I think I could kind of, you know what I mean?
Well, I want. This is your story to tell. Yeah, you're playing a crit right here, so this is your story to tell.
Yes.
He rolls out from under the couch and Greta.
And then he just aims as like slow motion Matrix shit.
Okay, so as he rolls, he grabs just as Einstein kind of falls. Dwight, as soon as he heard the stupid in his mind shot ring out to take out an unarmed combatant, he runs out, grabs his gun, and lowers it. And you see, just as he is pulling back for a shot, that you do have an opening to take a shot. Go ahead and roll it.
Dwight will fire.
Do we have a warranty on the
God!
sniper? Can we send him back and get a new one?
Do I get 2 shots or just 1?
Do we have a warranty?
Well, technically,
Oh, fumble, man.
technically you would have another shot, but as you pull your trusty Grand back, this is a fumble. And as you fire it, just as you saw that perfection in that round that was given to you by the man known as Dillinger, somewhere in a factory in Indianapolis where your round was made,
We're gonna
something had gotten into the mix and the rifling was just off on this particular cartridge. And as it fires, it jams in the mechanism. It does not ruin the gun, but it definitely jams in the chamber, requiring you to take a round to clear it.
Okay.
So we'll say for the sake of you used a crit to do that, you're able to get back to cover with the gun. Elijah, what would you like to do as you see...
Is he back behind the couch with Greta?
That's up to Dwight.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, he would go back exactly. He kind of looks at Greta and like punch him.
You want me to punch you?
No.
Oh.
Needle.
Oh, fuck. God.
Yeah, punch me. Yes, please.
I like to think that that
I'm
discussion
humble.
actually went down just like that. You want me to punch you? Right.
Elijah is going to, since he always has a gun in hand, take what shots he can as he's hitting the ground, trying to get low.
Okay, I will allow you to take 2 shots, but I will let you know that because of the position of the sniper and it's going to be an extreme to hit. So go ahead and take 2 shots.
Who called for an extreme? Elijah comes through again. Maybe I'm the new sniper.
So as
Never.
he stands up. Dwight Burke jumps back to cover, and Elijah just stands up, pulls the gun out, squeezes off 1 round. It splatters bricks right beside the sniper, and the second round digs a rivet from cheekbone up through the albino flesh, through the white hair, and out the side as you see the sniper spin and drop from view.
Yeah, Dwight would be like almost like shocked that he just did that.
It was literally a 1 in a million shot. So, as you all do this, and as everyone's kind of, still Jefferson low crawls over to Einstein, Ruby Foster is still not here. The lights go out in the building. Back to the library.
Great.
Kate, Sabella, you guys are within shouting distance to one another should you decide to shout.
No one is shouting, Greg.
It's a library. God.
Get your shit straight.
Can we see each other though?
Sabella can definitely see you. She would probably have to get your attention for you to see her.
Can't just have my blonde hair flash in the sunlight shaft.
Because that would get Kate's attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all that's happening. We're not shouting.
If you want to try to get her attention, I will either allow a luck roll from Kate or a luck roll from... one of you can roll a luck roll, and that's who sees who.
Okay.
Or doesn't see, but you can only do one, so pick amongst yourselves.
You feeling lucky?
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so as Sabella kind of is creeping behind something,
Very quietly.
Right. You see that one of the higher books on the shelf is a little askew, and you just slightly touch it to the point where it moves a little bit out of the shelf, and it's just enough movement to catch the pilot's eyes of Kate O'Callahan as she turns and looks at the moving the sniper gun in response to the movement, and you guys lock eyes.
Okay.
Where's Phil? Do we see him?
Don't see Phil.
Okay.
So I'm with eye contact, kind of motioning for you to stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Okay. And I'm kind of looking around, also looking up because I've seen them crawling on the walls and so forth for that other one, wherever it might be.
Roll a spot hidden for me.
I'll crit it.
It is currently directly above you, ready to drop down.
I will crit the shot. That's my
Okay.
last one, but I'll take it.
Okay, so as you take the shot, as this creature was moments from dropping down on top of you, it actually releases for a second as the serpent gun takes it back up into the high roof of the New York Public Library and kind of forces it there. And much like the cracking of a large beetle, you see the flesh give way and cave, and this white ichor kind of splatter against the top of the ceiling of the public library. And the creature drops and lands about 3 or 4 feet away from you. It seems way more insectoid now than it did when you first saw it and were scared of it and took off. It's almost like it was morphing. Morphin' time. Right.
I really don't like those things. All right, I'm running toward Sabella's position fast as I can.
What did that to the table? Was that you?
No, it wasn't me. Whatever they were carrying. Oh, I wonder if we could. Can I turn back around and see if there's one of those laying around?
Spot hidden.
Hard success.
Almost like it has stuck into the ground in the crease of one of the books that's currently left on the table closest to you is one of those weird sticks.
I'll grab that.
Sure. Summer just donated because she's just the best.
It's true.
Because she knows I'm out.
And it says give. Summer, tell me how or where or what you want from that, and I will do that. Just give. Okay. Yes, I will, but everybody gets crits.
Yeah.
Crits all around.
Love you, Summer.
that's
Love you so.
2 crits for everyone.
She is literally the best. I mean, for real.
Seriously.
She's in a game. She's getting like 100 crits from me.
Yeah.
And Brewhammer, you're exactly right. I need all the magical murder weapons I can get. Thank you. I got 2 hands.
Right.
All right.
Kate, are there more?
I don't. Those are the only 2 I saw. Where's Phil?
I told Mr. Castillo to come help you, but I do not see him.
Okay, it's just as you guys are talking, we're going to flip back to 116th Street as you hear movement outside of the door. Everybody, Dwight, Elijah, Greta. There is a knock at the door, and a voice says, "Come now, Olympians. Where is Ruby Foster?" Let's cut back to the library when we have Sabella and Kate as they are sitting there, and you guys hear, "Miss Ives, Kate, where is Ruby Foster?" And just at that moment, you see 2 more of the ant creatures explode in a ball of fire and shoot out of one of the aisles. And you see the burning body of Phil Castillo walk in the aisle behind him smoldering and catching. And as he turns, you see Dietrich standing there covered in some type of purple lightning as he is walking towards you. And Castillo moves to intercept between you and Dietrich. He turns around and you see him wink towards Sabella, and he turns back around and he said, I hate to sour your day, Kraut. And that's where we'll end it tonight.
Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, Project Athena, Pulp Cthulhu. Summer, I'm gonna just go ahead and mod you so you can just spam the shit out of whatever you want.
Oh my God.
That was the pulpiest line we have delivered so far. Good job, Greg.
Was
Living up to the title of the game.
Sorry to sour your day, Kraut. That's what like a
Pulpiest thing
little
I can imagine.
sauerkraut.
I have to go live my life after this game, and I don't want to.
I was unbanned. Oh my God, Summer got banned by Nightbot.
This is why I don't use Nightbot.
I am getting rid of Nightbot. Summer, I am so sorry.
I don't even understand that shit. What is that goddamn Nightbot? I see that shit and I have no clue even what it is when I'm in those chats.
Moderation bot.
It's a
cool
mythos creature that's super annoying.
It's an evil mythos creature.
Really fucking dumb.
It's super dumb, and I'm going to kill him right now. So, Allison, go ahead and let me know what you think about tonight.
Sweet baby Jesus and his virgin mama. That was amazing. I can't remember the last time I had that much fun. Wow. Just wow. Thank you so much, everybody, to Summer and even Grant. Am I thanking Grant? Oh my God. Everyone who listened in and chat and who contributed. Thanks for being a part of this with us. I cannot wait. I cannot wait until next Sunday. But until then, you can find me with 2 cans of Raid on Twitter at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y. Catch me on Wander Quest. Things getting very, very exciting for Astrid Dane and her friends, and on the God's Fall podcast, where I play Oriskatane, the goddess of chaos. I know that's a huge surprise to most of you, especially to this cast and to you, Greg. Thanks so much. Lauren, you've got a life to live. This is my life. This is my life right here. Mwah. See y'all next week.
Fantastico. Lauren, what'd you think?
What do you want? What do you want?
What?
I'm fine.
still
Everything's
crying?
fine. I know. I'm fine. I have no emotions ever about anything. I didn't fall out of my chair, and I didn't scream a lot. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger on Twitter. If you want to find me other places where I'm not screaming, no, I'll probably be screaming. I DM on Encounter Roleplay tomorrow at 1 p.m. EST, and that is where you can find me. I have to go finish my thesis now. Thank you, Greg.
Okay, you're welcome. Nightbot has been destroyed. I killed him. I took him down in a devastating blow that no one saw, but he has been crushed and murdered. Tell Summer she's allowed to talk for as much as she would like on my channel. That fucker Nightbot, he's dead to me. He's dead to everybody. Rip Nightbot. Rip the dream. Okay, Sniper, what do you have to say?
Fuck that Nightbot. I couldn't understand it anyway. They roll a bunch of things. I don't get it. Hey, thank you. Great time. I'm Big Pig on 500 on Twitch. Follow me on PlayStation, Xbox on Big Pig. Follow all these people. I watch them through the week when I'm at work. They make my day. I love every one of them. Had a blast. Thank you.
Nice, buddy. And Strider, what'd you think, bud? You slept through a lot of this, but you came back with the fucking shot of the century there to Show
Oh
Dwight
yeah,
how it
man.
was
I'm
done.
playing Elijah Sawyer, our party's resident sniper, and doctor, medic, and all these kinds of things that he somehow always succeeds on. Next time Caitlin is bluffing him, telling him to fly, he might actually wind up doing it. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, man, great time. It's the place to be. DM on Encounter Roleplay on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Uh, just some gritty fantasy stuff. There's magic spells, and it's just as D&D as D&D can get. So come check me out. Follow everyone. And I'll be here next week because this is the place where it's at.
Nice, brother. Nice. Lindy, Greta, she slept and ended up on top of Dwight Burke. How'd it go?
Well, at first she thought he was making advances, and then she realized there was a sniper. So it's been.
Why not both?
Why not both?
Right. You just took the words out of my mouth. Why not both?
He's multitasking.
Yeah. I'm loving / hating where you're going with this. Probably more loving than hating. And I think this is brilliant. I love it. I can't wait to see what happens next week. I want more. I want more now, but I have to wait a whole 7 days. As far as me, I am Laugh Love Lindy. You can find me online as such, and I am here to prove there's no such thing as too much tabletop because I am officially in 11 games as of next month. So on Sundays, you can find me here because this is fan-fucking-tastic and awesome, and I play the grumpiest German scientist ever. On Tuesdays, you can find me on my channel running D&D. Out of the Abyss is the current campaign. On Wednesdays, afternoons, 1 to 4 p.m. on Encounter Roleplay's channel, I'm playing with this lovely gentleman. I am a crazed hobo. We are playing more Call of Cthulhu. Oh, also on Tuesdays, Tomes and Tentacles podcast is released, and I am a creepy, morbid mortician, and this guy, and we don't get along on that end.
We hate each other. Right?
We hate each other, and it's great. So that's Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But on Thursdays, you can find me on WebDM's brand new Twitch channel where I am playing Mer Valentine, Tiefling Bard. It's super cool. And that's all for now because I'm not yet in 11 games. I'm only in 9 currently, so we're just going to call it good there. But I also do like video games and stuff and cosplay, so yeah. Cool.
Nice. Nice. And as for me, I'm Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters. A couple announcements for the channel. Our very own Steve, the sniper, and I, we're going to be delving into the world of video game play as Tickles and Pancakes, the dynamic clown duo who try to play games that only young kids can play, and we really fuck it up. But
No, we stay away from them.
Right. We'll be doing that a little bit later as the Tickles and Pancakes are going to try to escape from prison in a way out. So we're going to be getting into that. Tomorrow you can see me over on Encounter Roleplay Reign of Terror, where I'm going to be doing a little 1794 Call of Cthulhu French Revolution. Tuesdays, Tome and Tentacles. Wednesdays, like Lindy said, Cthulhu. Wednesday evenings on Unmade Gaming, I'll be doing a little City of Mist action, which is super dope and fun. Thursday's my day off. Friday's my day off. Saturday, I'm going to be doing some Learn by Play on the D&D channel, Fun 6 to 9. Always back here. Next month, we have a Firefly role-playing game starting here on the channel. And starting in May or early June, Conan will be coming to the channel as well. So lots of fun things happening here on Grimjack21502. Hope you like them all. Love everyone in chat. You guys are the best. It was said on Twitter, it's a 2-for-1 when you have a community that's so invested in the drama or has drama itself, as we now have the Kiena Summer versus Grant battle going on.
Thanks to everyone.
Sphere.
Thank them for real. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be super fun. I love you guys so much. Nightbot is dead. He's a fucking dead man. And he's, I'm sending Castillo after him. Dietrich, they're teaming up. They're going after Nightbot and taking him out just for summer. Guys, I love you. We have a week until we meet each other. I believe we are going to be on here next week. If not, I'll let you know. But I will let you know this. We are going to have a bonus episode. Not next Saturday, but the Saturday after that. And you are going to meet a new Olympian. And ladies and gentlemen, you should love him. So from 1933, take care of yourselves in 2018, everybody. We love you. and we'll be back. Later, guys.